Howdy folks, welcome back to SnowRunner on Big Salmon Peak in the Yukon region. Just been sitting here looking at the map for about the last 5 minutes or so, looking at where my equipment is. I did a little 45-minute mod test on a new Chevy pickup. At the end of that mod test, well, what I did with that mod test was I took the Chevy that was up here on top the mountain from popping that watchtower, and I went down here and I grabbed hunting needs and I grabbed warehouse in the mountains. At hunting needs, there was a scout fuel trailer that needed to go up here where you see the mark. Well, I was going that way anyways, so I drug it with and came down here, and we're sitting right here. So I will finish out hunting needs with that truck. I will hop in the M134 over here and do on the rocks, which is that Scout 800 in here, which is almost impossible to get to and get it back out. I did it on the PTS server, but I never found a good way to get in and out of there. I think I may see one here, maybe come in along this end and run along the ridge line and come back down. Oh man, I tried coming in from around the rock here with the Duramax, and I did get down there, but then getting back out, I came down the hill. I tried to follow this hillside. It looked like there was a way you could go across the rocks here and then finish coming down the road, but then you're met with a guardrail. And none of this is pleasant, to say the least. So I guess I'm just going to make it up as I go, because even though I did it on the PTS, I still don't know how the fuck you're supposed to get in there and get that thing out of there. Unless you took, that's an idea. Take a Kraz Chabors with a crane and come up this ridge or up this ridge and see if I can get on top and then reach over and grab it out of there. Because it looks like this is, there is a watchtower up here. So there's a way to get up here. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Get up there the same way as the watchtower and pick it out of there with a crane. Maybe I'll put that on the back burner until I get some of this other stuff done, because this sounds like something that could take an episode by itself. Seriously, if I start trying to, I know if I tried to get up in here with the M134, I could do it. But it doesn't do well. The M134 is so light that it doesn't do well with knocking over these trees. So a heavier truck would be a better option, but then a heavier truck is harder to climb the hills with. So maybe trying to just bust in there with a Kraz Chabors is the best way to do it. Just come in here and just bust shit down and ramble over shit. So perhaps I'll leave that for another episode. I thought I would do that right away, but there's other shit I want to do. Hunting needs being one of them. And I know I've already wasted almost 6 minutes. That Scout 800, the reason I wanted to get that Scout 800 out is because I want to run the M134 up here into this area, and then run over here and grab that upgrade with it, and then come back down through these roads and end up over here at Tools for the Warehouse, and then maybe run up there and grab that last watchtower. So that's all part of the M134 plan. But if it's going to take 45 minutes to get that Scout out of there, well, then that's the whole episode. So I'll just go ahead and do my running around with the M134 that I intended to do, and I'll worry about getting the Scout out in another episode. I was tempted to go up there and figure out how to get it out offline, and then just bring you guys back in when it's time to explain what I did and how I got up there, and if I'm going to pick it out with the crane or whatever. But maybe I still will do that. I've got I used 2 different K30's for that 45-minute video, which I will post. I'm gonna dual post it to SnowRunner and to Mod Review. I used this one to show what a truck would look like with the flatbed, and I made this one over here. Let's jump to that one. I made this one in the shop during the video to show how you would how the different customizations available. And this one I put the two-tone fleet side long bed on it, but I showed the other options for a cap and a roof rack and different things. And then I ran it, the other truck with the flatbed, I just ran it through snow all the time. So I wanted to run this one through some mud and get it dirty and kind of more or less display how it handles deep water and mud. So that said, I've got this one down here by this upgrade and this roadblock job and that watchtower and this job, crates in the woods. And back over here is another 1979 Chevy K30. I'm not quite sure why I left that one there. Maybe I intended to run up this north side with it. I don't know, but it doesn't have a radar unit behind it. So all it would clear out is the little path that I'm running up. Where getting this watchtower should clear out this whole thing. I'm hoping it will clear all the way down to this far point here. Otherwise I'll have to try and drive up through there. Then there's that watchtower, which I know is up there by the the concrete construction. It's been a while since I did the PTS. The concrete construction, and there's a rail yard up there that doubles as a warehouse. I've got a radar unit sitting on the road down here because there was a watchtower on top of the hill. I was heading up this road and I was going to take the left and go up this way. Along the way, when I was near that radar tower, I dropped the prototype unit so I could climb up this hill. I hit this first. At the time, I didn't know it was the delivery spot for Hunter's Cabin. It was just a place that I had not been to. So now I've been there. And then I figured out how I would get around to this watchtower, and it turned out that I had to go way around. So now my prototype unit that I was pulling with that is way the fuck back here. I've got another prototype unit with another Chevy pickup sitting right here, which I came down past service spare parts with so I could grab that job. And that's actually how I exposed that upgrade. So I don't know, maybe I'll continue up toward landslide with that one and run it up here somewhere between the two watchtowers. I don't know, I'm just going to kind of wing it, but I've been talking for like 15 minutes, and which I didn't intend to do. It was just going to be a quick rundown of I'm going over here and I'm going over there, but maybe I'll upload this as a completely separate video. 15 minutes of explaining what the fuck I'm doing. Oh, man. Have I been back in there? I must have when I went up to get that. I made another, I'll do this real quick, 1 minute. I made another mod test of something I'm about to show you. And I did a job with it as part of the mod test. So that job is done. There was a truck up here that needed to be hauled back to Manny's house. You may remember Manny's house from the PTS. If you want to see that job, go to the PTS and find the episode where I took the truck to Manny's house. I don't think it doesn't even, when you complete a task, it doesn't even show it as a checked off task, unlike these. these show that I have done them. They're checked off. You don't get that luxury with the tasks. So anyways, um, back to the last, that was about 1 minute. Back to the last thing before I take off out of here. I'm going to hop in the M134 and I'm going to turn it around. Controller shut off while I was chewing the fat too long, jaw jacking. I have a, excuse me, I have a way of doing that. I'm going to turn this around and drive it up here so you can see. Wow, that's... I'm trying to record this the same time I'm uploading, and look at that frame rate. Oh my god. I'll pull you around here. Now you guys have seen of the two western stars in might have to turn off that upload until I'm done with this. You guys have not seen these. Well, you've seen them in other people's videos, I'm sure. But I bought 5 of these. Let me bring the camera in. I bought 5 of these so I could outfit one in each basic variation, let's call it. You've got the IX, they're all IX 3880's, and I have done a couple of mod reviews on them. I'm not really satisfied with either of the mod reviews. Let's just leave it at that in the interest of time. I wasn't satisfied with either of the mod reviews that I did. And it had nothing to do with the trucks. One of them was a trashy frame rate, just like it's doing now. Another one, I just went on and on and on too fucking long about it. So I'll probably try and do a nicer, shorter mod review on these. But I wanted each one, I wanted a different truck set up a different way, so I didn't have to go in the garage and dick around. So I've got one set up as a wrecker, one set up as a rollback, one set up as the 3-spot dry van. This is the rollback. I'll drive around a little bit. It's going to take a couple more minutes, but there's the wrecker. I may change the wheels on that. In the mod review, I wasn't real impressed with the performance of those wheels. I like the Quasi-Mayos better. This one is a 3-spot sideboard with a loading crane. How many 3-spot sideboards do you get a loading crane with, you know? This is just a 3-spot enclosed dry van, but it has loading ramps, very interesting. You could transport a vehicle inside there. Now, to go back around the front. Oh, there's something I want to do back here. No, I can't do it with this. I can't buy a trailer with this. Never mind. I wanted to buy a sled and drag it out there with me. I'll have to do it with something else. Come on, turn. Don't ram into the brand new truck. And then up here, you see I've got the the 3-spot. This can have a 2-spot or a 3-spot rollback. Sometimes my dementia, I have hard times thinking of the word that I want to say. It can have a 2-spot or a 3-spot rollback and a loading crane. Now it has a winch point to drag vehicles onto the rollback. It has a winch point dead center at the front of the rollback to drag vehicles up. But you can also equip it with a crane, which I thought was really cool. And then drive around the corner a little more. This again, IX3880, but this time set up with a high saddle and an LC38, which you can see that I've equipped with an 8-spot trailer. It will take a high saddle or a low saddle. You can put the US crane on it or the Russian mini cranes. You can put, God, I would need a dozen trucks to show you all the variations. You can put a large crane, the red American large crane on the front, or am I thinking of the Western Stars here? Let me hold off on that comment till I confirm it. I might be thinking of the Western Stars, like that one over there. I think that's what I'm thinking. I think my dementia was getting the better of me. It was mixing up the trucks. The Western Star over there, you can put the big crane on the rear with a 2-spot box in the front, and you could still pull a dolly trailer off the back. Or you could put the red crane on the front, put the 2-spot dolly on the back. There was a way I had figured out to pull 10 spots. I think it was, yeah, you can put the red crane on the front with the 2-spot on the back, but then all you can pull is a dolly because it takes away the ability to put a 5th wheel on it. Now, what I had just mentioned is being able to put a 10-spot out of it. You can put an LC38 on the front. You can put the 2-spot right behind it, or you put the 2-spot on the, that's what it is. You put the 2-spot on the front. I did so much experimentation. In fact, it's right here. This one right here is exactly what I'm talking about. You put on an LC38, you put on a 2-spot, you put on a high saddle, and then you hook up an 8-spot trailer. Now you've got a truck that can pull 10 spots of freight. And if you happen to lose that freight in travel, well, your LC38 is going to work for this just fine, but it's not going to reach that 8-spot trailer. It barely reaches to the end of the truck. So you would have to unhook from the 8-spot. You'd have to use the truck with its LC38 to drive around and pick up the cargo and put it back on your trailer, and then go rehook to your 8-spot and go back down the road again. Conversely, if you were like delivering cabins, there's a lot of cabins you got to deliver in this. And preferably you would do those with a large crane. But if you found yourself doing it with this, again, park the trailer next to the cabin delivery zone, unhook, drive your truck with your crane back alongside the trailer, and use it to start offloading. You don't have to be hooked up to the trailer to load or unload them anymore. Way back when SnowRunner first came out, I was on it the day it was released, and clear up into Kola Peninsula, you could not load a trailer that wasn't hooked to a vehicle. The cargo would pass right through it and sit on the ground underneath the damn thing. They fixed that now, finally. So you can unload and unload a trailer that's unhooked. Alright, now we're up to almost 30 minutes. So I'm going to take, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to stop engine. So now you see what I've got in my yard. I've talked about what I intend to do. It'll probably take 36 hours to upload a 30-minute video, but I'll upload this as a separate episode, like an episode 23 or whatever we're getting up to. 22 is what's loading right now, is what's uploading right now and causing my lag issues, I think. Take a breath, organize my thoughts for a second. So, you've seen what's in the yard. I've talked about all the trucks. We did a planning session. Now, I'm going to stop this one, use the restroom, because that always happens halfway through the hour. Always. And then I will come back with some fresh eyes and a means of yanking that Scout 800 out of there. Whether I go up there with I'll investigate with the M134, or I'll just take a Kraz with a crane and do something with that. But I will get that Scout 800 out of there and drag it up there to where it's supposed to be. so I'm not making two separate trips to that far corner of the map. All right, see you after the break, and thanks for watching.